Hello everyone, kamusta kayo? So this is the last part of our lecture or the last lecture for this semester. Okay, under the industrial materials and processes. So yung glass processes ito. This is the last industrial materials na ating pag-aaralan. Okay? So at the end of this lecture, you should define what is glass and their properties. Know the different materials used in the production of glass, discuss the process involved sa paggawa ng glass, and explain yung different types ng glass. So, kawig dito ng ibang mga industrial processes, no? Yung types ng glass ang dinidescribe. Okay? Kasi, very uniform yung paggawa ng iba't ibang glass. Depende sa kung ano yung product na ginagawa. So, evaluate yung advantages and disadvantage ng glass and enumerate yung industrial application ng glass. Okay? So, sa introduction, so, sinasabi dito na ang glass is a non-crystalline material. So, pag sinabing non-crystalline, ibig sabihin, yun yung material na yung atomic structure ay random. Hindi katulad ng mga crystalline materials na properly arranged. Okay? Yung atomic structure nila. Kaya nga yung glass ay marupok, madaling mabasag. Kasi hindi properly aligned or random aligned yung kanyang mga atoms. And siya ay often transparent. Okay? See-through siya, no? And has a widespread practical, technological, and decorative uses. So, napakadami niyang gamit. Pwedeng sa bintana, yung mga table na gawa sa glass, yung ating mga mirrors, and yung mga salamin sa mata, no? So, yun nga lang, itong glass, industrial material na glass is fragile. Yung madali nga siyang mabasag. Okay? Pero, meron siyang firmness. Okay? Mamaya malalaman nyo kung ano yung mga matitibay na glasses. Okay? Uri ng glass. So, dito, kina-qualify din siya as liquid kasi madali siyang matunaw or meron siyang fluid nature. So scientifically, glass is an amorphous solid. Ibig sabihin walang definite shape. Kasi nga pwede siyang matunaw into something with a new shape. So in terms naman ng conductivity, insulator din yung glass. Hindi siya nakaka-conduct ng thermal and electrical. Okay? So since it has no reaction with the commonly known chemical compounds. So, properties ng material na glass. So, unang property is yung hardness and brittleness. Ayan, may katigasan din itong materialis na glass. Okay? At meron siyang impact resistance against applied load. Okay? Di ba nga brittle siya? So, depende nga sa uri ng glass. May mga glass na nag-hold doon sa kanyang mga pieces, hindi siya nababasag. Okay? Kapag na-subject sa different loads. And yun naman ay brittle kung nagbe-breaks agad. Okay? Kung sakaling manipis yung glass na yon. Then weather resistance. Yan. So it can withstand the backlash, okay, of rain, sun, and wind. Okay? Pag sinabing backlash, hindi yan yung friend mo, ha. So pag sinabing backlash, yung paiba-iba or hagupit ng weather. Kaya nga ginagamit yan na materyales para sa mga outside purposes katulad ng mga windows. Okay? Nakapag-absorb din siya and reflect and refract light. Okay? Kaya dun sa mga applications niya katulad ng mga lenses, okay, ng camera ay glass yung ginagamit. Then, sumunod, insulation. So, excellent insulator siya against heat, electricity, and electromagnetic radiation. Kasi, meron siyang good insulating response against visible light transmission. Kaya nga ginagamit yan, for example, sa mga oven. Diba? Made of glass. Para hindi lumabas yung init. Kasi insulator yung glass. Then, chemical resistance. It can withstand the effect of chemical reaction under different environmental conditions or acidic effects such as yung sa ammonia and sulfuric acid. Kaya nga yung mga test tubes, Okay, mga flask na ginagamit sa chemistry or physics laboratory ay made of glass. Then yung color and shape niya ay may iba-iba siyang katangian. Okay, depende dun sa process ng pagbo-blown, drawn, and pressing niya, no? Yung magiging kulay niya and yung shape niya. Then sa transparency, so one such property of glass na nakapag-create ng visual connect with the outside world. Kaya nga ginagamit yan for sa mga automobiles, di ba? Yung kanilang mga windows para nakikita yung labas. Okay? With the advent of technology, mga clear glass can also be altered, making it opaque. Ayan. Dahil nga sa mga iba pang mixture na chemicals, nagiging hindi siya transparent or opaque. Then fire resistant glazing. So dito merong ina-add na chemical para ma-resist niya yung fire. Okay? So kalimitan, ginagamit yan sa mga windows ng mga boiler. Okay, para makikita kung sapat na ba yung apoy dun sa loob ng isang kiln or boiler. Then property modification. So possible to change some of its properties to suit different purposes. Okay? So pwede siyang ma-mix with other materials para mabago yung kanyang property. So ano na ba yung mga components ng glass? So yung una dyan, yung silica sand. So tinatawag din yun quartz sand or white sand o kaya industrial sand. So hawig sa simento, no? May silica din itong glass. So made up siya ng two main elements, yung silica and oxygen. So silicon dioxide. And about 3/4 of the entire glass composition. So kung kanina or dun sa lesson na semento, lime yung major component ng semento. Dito naman, silica sand ang major component ng glass. Okay? Then sumunod na component is soda ash. So, isa rin yan sa mga main ingredients ng glass dahil nababawasan niya yung melting temperature. Ibig sabihin, madaling matutunaw yung glass dahil dyan sa soda ash at madali siyang masiship. Then, limestone. Meron din, di ba? Sa semento, meron din limestone eh. So, type yan ng carbonate sedimentary rock na main source ng material na lime. Okay? Which has a major application sa manufacturing process ng glass. Then, clarifying agents, referred to as compound clarifier to glass industry. Okay, so anong ginagawa naman nitong mga clarifying agents? Okay, so dito, ang ginagawa ng clarifying agents is tinatanggal niya yung mga excess gas content ng mixture ng glass. Kasi pag may gas content yung mixture ng glass, lulubo. Okay, yung glass. Kaya yung clarifying agents tatanggal ng mga gaseous na components. Sumunod, yung coloring. O nakadepende yan dun sa uri ng compound na idadagdag. Yan, pag cobalt oxide, blue-violet yung magiging kulay niya. Pag cadmium sulfide, yellow. Yan, so gold chloride, red. Antimony oxide, white. Hanggang dito sa chromic oxide, emerald green. Okay, so depende sa compound na idadagdag or additives or colorants, yung magiging color niya. Then, glass production process. Okay? So, dito, panoorin natin yung video kung paano ginagawa ang glass. So, sa pagkakataon ito, papanoorin natin yung paggawa ng mga bote na made of glass sa factories.
How it's made, glass bottles. They are not just ordinary containers, they are the embodiment of craftsmanship and ingenuity. Today, we invite you to join us on a captivating journey behind the scenes of glass bottle production. Brace yourself for a fascinating exploration of the artistry, precision, and sheer magic that goes into creating these everyday marvels. Get ready to witness how it's made, glass bottles, like never before. Welcome to the enchanting world of glass bottle production, where every masterpiece begins with the humblest of ingredients. In this section, we dive deep into the realm of raw materials, where sand, soda ash, and limestone hold the key to the magic of glass. Our journey starts with sand, nature's hidden treasure. This seemingly ordinary substance, composed mainly of silica, is carefully extracted and selected for its purity. Silica, the essential component of glass, lends it that incredible transparency. But sand alone cannot create the glass we know and love. Enter soda ash, a a fascinating ingredient that plays a crucial role in the glass-making process. It lowers the melting point of the glass mixture, making it easier to shape and mold. Completing this trio of raw materials is limestone. With its stabilizing properties, limestone ensures that the glass does not become too brittle. It provides the necessary strength, making our glass bottles durable and reliable. The art lies in the delicate balance of these raw materials. Expert glassmakers meticulously combine sand, soda ash, and limestone in precise measurements, creating a magical concoction that will soon transform into liquid beauty. As the mixture undergoes intense heat and transforms into a molten liquid, it becomes pliable, ready to be shaped into the iconic bottles that we cherish. Our journey has just begun. From the sands of time to the molten liquid, we've witnessed the transformation of raw materials into something extraordinary. Join us as we delve deeper into the mesmerizing world of glass bottle production. Welcome to the heart of glass bottle production, where fire and heat merge to shape the liquid essence of our future vessels. In this section, we venture into the mesmerizing world of glass melting. Inside the glass melting furnace, temperatures soar to staggering heights, reaching well over 1,000 degrees Celsius. It is within this inferno that the raw materials we explored earlier undergo a remarkable transformation. Skilled artisans meticulously monitor and maintain the furnace, ensuring a controlled environment conducive to the delicate dance of glass transformation. They possess an intimate understanding of the unique properties of the molten glass. As we peer into the furnace, we are greeted by a breathtaking spectacle. The molten glass, radiant and fluid, exhibits an otherworldly beauty. Its vibrant hues shimmer and dance, reflecting the intense heat that engulfs it. Glassmakers, guided by years of experience and an unwavering passion, skillfully manipulate the molten glass. They wield an array of tools, each designed to shape and mold the glass with precision and finesse. Blowing and shaping the molten glass is an art form in itself. The glassmaker carefully blows into a hollow tube, delicately expanding the glass like a breath of life. With practiced hands, they shape it into the iconic form of a bottle. As the glass cools, it gradually solidifies, capturing the essence of its shape. This delicate balance between heat and time creates the foundation for the glass bottle's structure and durability. We've witnessed the mesmerizing dance of glass in its molten state, as skilled artisans shape it into the vessels we hold dear. But our journey is far from over. Join us as we embark on the next phase, the intricate art of bottle formation. In the realm of glass bottle production, where artistry meets precision, lies the captivating process of bottle formation. In this section, we unravel the intricate steps that transform molten glass into the familiar shapes and sizes we adore. The backbone of bottle formation lies in the meticulous selection of molds. Crafted with precision, these molds come in an array of shapes and sizes, each designed to bring forth a specific bottle design. With practiced hands, glassmakers gather the molten glass, hot and malleable, ready to be shaped into perfection. They draw the molten glass from the furnace, ensuring just the right amount for the desired bottle. One technique employed in bottle formation is pressing. The glassmaker carefully places the molten glass into the mold and applies pressure, shaping it against the mold's contours. This process creates a precise and uniform bottle shape. Another technique, blowing, adds an element of artistry to the process. The glassmaker introduces a small amount of air into the molten glass, using their breath to expand it, gradually giving it the distinctive bottle form. Throughout the process, glassmakers utilize an array of tools, a combination of jacks, paddles, and shears, to refine and perfect the bottle shape. Their skilled hands manipulate the molten glass, bringing their vision to life. As the glass cools within the molds, it solidifies, preserving the precise shape and form imparted by the glassmaker. The once molten liquid has now taken on the recognizable silhouette of a glass bottle. The art of bottle formation requires not only technical expertise, but also a deep understanding of the behavior of glass.
So yan yung process
It is a
ng
delicate
paggawa
dance
ng,
between heat and shape.
glass. Okay, napansin nyo na iba't ibang uri or shape ng glass, iba't ibang processes. Okay, may manual processes para dun sa mga glass na merong intricate na design. Pero yung pare-pareho lang na design, so pinuput siya into mass production. Okay, katulad nung nakita sa video na soft drinks bottles. Okay? So, ito yung processes niya. Una, yung material preparation. Ayan. Kailangan yung mixture na yan is within the range, no? Silica sand, 60 to 75%, soda ash 12 to 18, limestone 5 to 12, and yung mga additives such as yung mga colorants ay 5%. Then tutunawin, i-refine yung mga components na iyon. Furnace heated to 1500 degrees Celsius. Okay? Then papasok sila dun sa tinatawag na float bath, kung saan yung mga molten material, okay, na natunaw ay magpa-flow into the bath. Okay? So ang itsura nila dun ay mirror-like. Meron silang mirror-like surface o makintab sila, no? At meron silang 1500 degrees Celsius, so napakataas ng kanilang temperature. Okay? And doon sa float bath sila ay napapalamig kasi naging 650 degrees Celsius na lang. Okay? Then sumunod yung coating for reflective glass. So yung mga glasses na kailangan ng coating is dumadaan dito sa process na ito. Okay? So pwedeng maging hard coat or soft coat yung ilalagay sa surface ng napalamig na glass, yung tinatawag na ribbon. Okay? So depende doon sa paggagamitan niya. Okay, kung hard ba or soft. Kadalasan yung hard coat is para sa mga heavy duty usage. Okay? Yung soft naman para sa mga container. Okay? Na maliliit. Then annealing. So ito yung process ng controlled cooling ng glass para uniform yung kanyang surfaces. Kasi pag hindi kinontrol yung pagpapalamig sa glass, ang mangyayari is magkakaroon ng mga defects katulad ng mga butas, okay, mga lumobo, okay, na part. So yun yung annealing, controlled cooling of glass. Then syempre inspect yan ng mga skilled personnel, okay, kung mayroong defects. Pag may defects, pwedeng tunawin ulit, gawin ulit. Then hahanapin sa part ng process kung saan nanggaling yung defects para hindi na mangyari ulit. Then cutting to order, depende sa size na pangangailangan as raw materials, yung pagkakat sa glass. And gumagamit siya ng diamond steels. Pag sinabing diamond steels, yan yung mga napakatutulis na cutter. Kasi hindi pwedeng mga marurupok na cutter dyan, no? Masisira niya yung glass. Okay? So, ito yung mga types ng glasses. Okay? So, meron siyang variety of application, kaya napakadami din niyang types. At nagkakaiba-iba yan sa strength and design nila. Okay, so yung una, yung tinatawag na fused quartz or fused silica glass. So, siya yung type ng glass na highly resistant sa weathering. Okay, yung mga molecules niya kasi is arranged randomly. And ginagamit siya sa tube lights o yung mga ilaw na panglabas and sa furnaces na nakapag-withstand ng high temperature. Sumunod yung soda lime glass silica. Commonly used sa mga bintana, okay, na nagamit sa mga bahay, mga buildings. Then sodium borosilicate glass. Ito yung nabanggit ko kanina na napakatigas or tibay na glass. Kasi meron siyang boron oxide. So it makes the glass less prone sa cracking. Mapatibay niya yung glass. Kaya nga yan yung bumubuo sa mga kitchenwares natin na made of glass. Then lead oxide glass. Ito yung merong high reflective properties, making it favorite sa mga jewelry makers. Okay? So, yun yung patungan ng mga jewelry. Para mas maging aesthetic yung dinidisplay nila. Then, clear glass. Okay? So, ginagamit siya for what? Visual purposes. Okay? For example, sa mga windows ng automobiles. Okay? Or sa mga sightseeing views. Then, yung tinted glass. O, yan yung kinulayan na glass. So, nag-undergo ng annealing processes. Okay? And meron siyang coating or film para mabago yung kulay niya at hindi ma-penetrate ng light. Then, sumunod yung laminated glass. So, isa siyang type ng safety glass na kapag na-subject sa isang load, yung mababasag siya, hindi siya magiging makalat, hindi siya mag-shatter. So, may nag-hold kasi doon sa mga pieces ng glass na yon. So, yung nag-hold na yun ay thin polymer interlayer. Okay? So, kalimitan ginagamit yan sa mga windows ng automobile. Okay? Para pag sabihin nabasag, hindi siya mag-shatter. So, sa mga bangko. Okay? Tempered or toughened glass. Yun naman yung type ng safety glass na pinaprocess under controlled thermal or chemical treatments. So, mas matibay siya kaysa laminated glass. Kalimitan yung tempered na to or toughened glass, ginagamit sa mga flooring, okay, ng mga glass structures. Pwede siyang apakan, kumbaga. Then, float glass. So, para yan sa mga nakaumbok na windows. Then, obscured glass. Para yan sa ma-obscure or mapa-abstract yung yung vision doon sa isang bagay. Ginagamit yan sa mga shower. Okay? Shower areas ng mga comfort rooms. Then, sumunod yung mirrored glass. Okay? So, yan. Ginagamit sa ating mga salamin. Coated glass. Okay? So, meron siyang coat na metal oxides. Okay? So, depende dun sa magiging kulay niya kung ano yung i-coat sa kanya. Then, low E-glass. Yung low emissive refers sa surface condition na nakapag-emit ng low levels of radiant thermal energy. Yan yung ginagamit sa mga X-ray lenses. Okay? Para pabawasan yung radiation. Okay? Na nai-emit ng machine. Then, yung annealed glass. So, yan yung standard glass. Kahawig ng mga nabanggit kanina. Then, fiberglass. Yan yung ginagamit sa mga automobiles. Okay? Mga motor. No? Kasi, magaan yan eh. Ginagamit din yan sa mga aeroplano. Okay? Lightweight siya, tas matibay. Advantages and disadvantages ng glass. Pwede siya transmit, absorb, and refract light. Okay? So, for different purposes. Then, nakapag-transmit siya ng 80% ng daylight sa lahat ng directions. Kaya makakatipid ang isang establishment kung meron silang glass walls. Sa umaga, diba? Magagamit nila yung ilaw ng nasa labas. And weather resistant din siya. Kaya nga part yan ng mga walls ng buildings. And yung glass ay hindi rin nangangalawang. Smooth siya and glossy yung surface. Aesthetic siya tingnan. And nakakatulong nga siya sa pagbabawas ng energy consumption. And economical siya. Sa pagkakataon na yun. Very excellent insulator din. Okay? Kaya ginagamit yan as visual holes. For example, sa mga oven or sa mga furnaces. Then, can be pressed, blown, and drawn sa kahit anong shape. Excellent for showrooms and showcases. So, kasi nire-reflect niya yung mga light doon sa mga dinidisplay. Disadvantage naman niya, yan, mahal yung glass na materials. Kaya dapat handle with care. Then, kailangan laging pinupunasan kasi nakikita agad yung dumi or alikabok. And then, meron siyang psychological effects. Kasi may mga tao na ayaw yung nakikita sila ng ibang tao. Okay? Alam nyo ba yung tinatawag na nelophobia? Yun yung fear of glass. Pwede rin mag-cause kasi yun ng phobia. Gusto kasi ng karamihan is privacy. Pag glass kasi, walang privacy. Makikita sila nung nasa kabilang side. So, brittle siya and less impact resistance. Maliban na lang doon sa kind ng glass. Okay? Yung laminated glass. Mataas kasi yung impact resistant niya. Then, relatively low R value o yung resistance to heat gain or loss. Kaya nga na-contain niya yung init sa loob. Okay? Hindi rin napapapasok ng init mula sa labas ng isang, for example, ng bahay. And, hindi siya safe sa earthquake kasi pwede ngang mabasag. Mag-shatter sa isang tao. So, absorbent and trap heat. So, ito yung mga applications niya sa packaging, sa housing and buildings. Okay? Sa interior design, ano yung balustrades? So, pag sinabing balustrades, yan yung mga aesthetically designed na mga columns ng front view ng isang building. Then, sa mga appliances and electronics, automotive, and transport. Medical technology, and fiber optic cables. O, saan ginagamit yung fiber optic? Sa internet. Okay, or data transmission. Renewable energy, yan kasi may part ng ng LEC ng wind turbines ay glass. Okay? Syempre sa solar energy, yung mga solar panel niya is made of glass. Tablewares. Okay? So ito yung schematic diagram ng glass production. From raw materials, okay, hanggang punta doon sa pagme-melt ng raw materials, pagre-refine, doon sa float bath kung saan sila ay papalamigin, and controlled na cooling sa annealing. And of course, yung cutting process. Okay? So, kung may tanong kayo, mag-message lang kayo sa akin, approach nyo ako. Sana kayo ay may naintindihan. So, see you and thank you and God bless.